Astra Abyssa.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom.
Take flight! Kamisato art! Soretsu! Whirling snow! My apologies! Sakura swirl! Get them!
Come a little closer.
It's nothing.
Let's spark things up a little.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Give up! Submit! You're toast! Nice and spicy!
Surrender and be gentle.
Submit!
On my way.
Hey, yeah! Nice and spicy.
From whence you came. A touch of frost.
Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Wrap up a flame! Boom boom!
Another test subject.
Barbados, guide us.
Freeze! Try! Wrong test subject.
Dodge this!
Suffocate! Picked the wrong test.
So sorry. Cool it.
Pyrotechnics! Amp it up!
Wind, hear me.
This moment will be frozen in time. Dodge the...
Go and fly!
For retribution!
Cool it!
Barbados, guide us.
Time to rock! Ad Astra at...
Are you okay? Paimon never imagined your sister would have sided with the Abyss. Well, keep your chin up. Paimon believes in both of you. And when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Right? She said we needed to reach the end of our journey. Paimon bets she still has lots more to tell us. And we won't find out what this journey is or where it will end unless we keep going. Aw, don't mention it, partner. Travel buddies are supposed to look out for one another. Although, where should we go next? If we want to continue with the journey... Oh, you mean the god that took your sister away in the first place? You're right. After all, everything that followed, all this confusion, it all started with her. Yeah, Paimon bets she's the key to understanding this whole mystery. Well, we've ruled out two gods so far, the Animo and Geo Archons. So, next... Paimon doesn't think we can simply walk into Inazuma. Zhongli said it was a closed nation. We'll have to find some other way in. Why don't we ask someone from Inazuma how to gain entrance? Oh, Paimon's thought of someone already! Atsuko, in Liyue Harbor! She's from Inazuma! Let's see what she has to say.
Oh, I mean good fortune, right? I'm still learning to talk like a local. Is there anything I can help you with?
We wanted to ask, how do we get into Inazuma?
Oh, so that's why you're here. Well, there is a way,
Great! We came to the right person!
but the chance of success is incredibly small.
Huh. Incredibly small? Then how did you get out of Inazuma in the first place?
It was in leaving Inazuma that I found out just how dangerous this method truly was. All I had to rely on was a little wooden raft that I'd put together myself. There was a storm raging ahead of me, and my pursuers were close on my tail. After I'd escaped their clutches, I floated on the open ocean for I don't know how many days. My rations and fresh water supply soon ran out, and I remember getting to the point where I was sure I'd reached the end. Then, I blacked out. But, to my surprise, my journey didn't end there. Or to put it another way, a new beginning found me. That's right. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. The fact that I'm even alive to tell the tale must be a sign that the gods were watching over me.
What a horrible journey! And you set off knowing how dangerous it was? Why?
Well, because everything is just too restrictive over there. The atmosphere is so stifling. The Kanjo Commission subjects everyone leaving or entering the nation to a protracted approval process, and I felt like I didn't belong there.
Kanjo Commission? What's that?
Along with the other two commissions, they oversee everything in Inazuma. We usually collectively refer to them as the Tri-Commission. I suppose they're equivalent to the 8 trades under the Liu Ichising. One of the obligations of the Kanjo Commission is to conduct rigorous identity checks on all individuals leaving or entering Inazuma. All non-nationals are processed centrally on Rito upon arrival. Meanwhile, the Tenryo Commission is responsible for implementing the recently promulgated Vision Hunt Decree. They act like the executive arm of the Raiden Shogun's rule, loyal, yet unfeeling. It doesn't feel good to speak ill of my home like this, but after spending so long under that oppressive atmosphere, I begin to lose all hope for the future. What I mean to say is, unless you have an extremely compelling reason to go to Inazuma, you should abandon. You should know that the sea around Inazuma is engulfed in a perpetual tempest of wind and rain. Supposing you survived that, you would still need to get past the samurai guards that enforce the Sakoku Decree, the closed nation policy of Inazuma. And even if you did manage to find a way, you'd still have to produce the necessary documentation at the Rito Center for processing Outlanders. Otherwise, you'd be kicked out immediately.
Seems like they really don't want anyone setting foot in Inazuma, huh?
They only set that up as a port to guarantee a supply of goods and information to the island. Most Outlanders would be unable to acquire the documentation needed. But if you really are set on going, there is one thing you could try.
The raft idea sounds a little on the dangerous side. Plus, Paimon would definitely get seasick.
That's not what I meant. You could ask someone from the Crux Fleet if they have some way of getting you to Inazuma. They're well known in Liyue. Voyaging far and wide has made them a well-traveled group with a wide range of experiences. They may just know how to break through the storm.
But it's an armed fleet, right? Why would they agree to a request like this?
That part is up to you. If you're able to persuade their captain, Beidou, then the hardest part will be out of the way. The Alcor is the flagship of the Crux Fleet. I heard that it's currently anchored by Guyunstone Forest on a supply run. This might be your best chance.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's go find Captain Beidou.
Oh, it's really coming down. It'll be all sorts of bad if my guitar...
Do those symbols really mean?
Who have we got here? Wait, I know you. You're that traveler, aren't you? The one who fought against the Fatui and Osile, right? Ningguang told me about you. A traveler of great insight and remarkable skill has saved Liyue, she said. She's a hard one to please, so praise from her is high praise indeed. I remember thinking at the time that it'd be good to meet you in person. Judging by the clothes on your back and this floating thing, I guess that time has come.
Hey! The name's not Floating Thing! It's Paimon!
Paimon? What a fascinating being. You two give off not only the essence of wind and earth, but also of... yes, the stars.
Huh? The fragrance of what now? That's the weirdest compliment Paimon's ever heard.
Pay it no heed. I mean only to say I am certain that it is by fate, not chance alone, that we should meet. And that gives our encounter meaning.
You're not far off, but they go by a different name in Inazuma. This young man is Kaidahara Kazuha, a temporary addition to my crew for reasons I won't bore you with. Occasionally he opens his mouth and flowers come out instead of words.
With this fine ship and the soft sea breeze, would it not be romantically irresponsible of me not to acknowledge it with a line or two of poetry?
Well, I can't argue with that. Okay then. Once the clash is underway, I'll give you a chance to perform.
Only if the mood takes me, of course. Poetry for poetry's sake tends to lack meaning.
Hey, you don't want to pass this opportunity up too easily. Especially seeing as our great hero here might be in attendance.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the clash? Also, just to clarify, by great hero, do you mean...
Huh? I thought you might be here to sign up. You're telling me you've never even heard of it? The Crux Clash is a martial arts tournament that I hold. There'll be a whole bunch of folks taking part to showcase their talents. There are two important rules. One, competitors must be renowned fighters. We want those with real martial arts ability, not just people taking part for the fun of it. So, you've got nothing to worry about there. I don't think there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of you. Two, you can't take part if you've got a vision. Otherwise, things get a little one-sided. You must be feeling confident, but you might want to watch out. There are a few crouching tigers and hidden dragons lurking around in Liyue. And with Liyue's savior taking part in the tournament, now that's gonna turn a few heads. I think we can expect a healthy turnout this time.
But we didn't come here to take part in a martial arts tournament.
Well, before you dismiss the idea completely, you might be interested to hear that the prize this time round is particularly sought after. Get this. It's a masterless vision.
Supplied by myself, as a matter of fact. If the tournament champion can reawaken that vision, it belongs to them.
Is there really such thing as a masterless vision?
When a vision bearer dies, the light in their vision will fade away. But the shell that housed that light remains. As for whether this shell has any practical application, well, this remains to be seen. But my intuition tells me that while it remains in the world, it may just be possible for someone else to inherit it.
Yep, and the way I see it, a vision is a badge of recognition from the gods. So if anyone's able to rekindle it, it's gotta be an individual of exceptional strength and talent. Organizing the clash is my way of uncovering hidden talents. And hopefully this time, getting a vision to glow again. So if you don't have a vision, this is the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one of your very own.
Yeah, we're interested in getting to Inazuma, not fighting in some tournament.
Inazuma? You want to go there?
Well, why didn't you say so? Inazuma? No sweat. In that case, if you win the tournament, I'll give you a choice. Masterless Vision, or a ticket to Inazuma.
You just want him to take part in your tournament.
What's wrong with that? The more talent we have, the better the tournament will be. I couldn't let a competitor like you fall through the net.
What are we gonna do? Looks like we pretty much have to do this tournament if...
Great. Then let's get you signed up. Head to the tournament arena in Guyun Stone Forest. Kazuha and I will be over soon.
It seems like it will only be a matter of time before the answer is revealed.
Before we sign up, let's see who the other competitors are. Beidou said that they had to be Hello? Are you here to compete in the Crux Clash?
You bet I am. Have you put your names down yet? Well, I'd have a look at the entrance criteria if I were you. Then it'll allow just anyone to take part. The Clash is a comprehensive test of fighting ability. Anyone who turns up for show over skill is gonna get their butt handed to them. Nobody wants to see that, right?
Yeah, we heard a rule about that. So, Paimon's wondering, are you a renowned fighter?
Me? Only a former runner-up in the Chihu Rock Freestyle Combat Summit. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Also, that doesn't sound like the most official tournament out there.
What? You... Nonsense. Have you been living under a rock? It's been going on for years. There were plenty of competitors when I took part. Not to mention, I've helped the Millilith catch treasure hoarders before. There were 2 of them trying to escape. I soon sorted them out. They tried to sneak past me under the cover of darkness. They didn't know what hit them. I planted a left hook on the skinnier one's face and sent him flying. Then, the big guy pulled out a knife. I stood my ground, of course. A roundhouse kick sent the blade hurtling into a beam above us. I told you. Unarmed, outnumbered 2 to 1, but I still got the upper hand. I'm not saying I came out completely unscathed, of course, but the fact remains that I did manage to subdue the both of them, and hand them over to the Millilith. I received quite the commendation. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. But for us, even 4 or 5 treasure hoarders at a time is all in a day's work. Alright, we're gonna keep looking around.
I'll see you in the arena, but I don't plan on losing to a pair of children anytime soon.
Hi there. Are you here for the Crux Clash too?
That's right. Nothing beats real-life combat for honing your skills. That's what our master taught us. But this tournament is more than just a chance to put training into practice. It's also a chance for us to obtain the masterless vision.
Exactly. With a vision, we'd quickly become our master's top students.
This master of yours must be pretty incredible, huh? Are they someone famous?
Famous? He's the founder of the Lingshan clan, and his skills are unparalleled. Liang and I are both proud disciples of his. You probably wouldn't have heard of it. It was founded quite recently. The clan is nowhere near as famous as the master himself, anyway. He's got to be a grand master or something. He's created many different styles of kung fu, and countless other clans have borrowed extensively from him. To the Lingshan clan, he teaches a special technique known as force dispersal.
Force dispersal?
It's a type of breathing exercise where you can train yourself to harness the energy around you and neutralize attacks without moving an inch. For example, our master can use it to alter the path of an attacking fist, or change the direction of an incoming stone, all without breaking a sweat.
One time, he sent a challenger flying into the air without lifting a finger.
It sure is, but it's extremely difficult to cultivate this ability. We've been training for ages and we're still getting to grips with the very basics. There's no way we could use it proficiently yet.
We're clearly not that naturally gifted, or we would have at least gotten the gist by now. If we don't start making progress soon, we'll probably run out of money to pay the tuition fees and still have nothing to show for all our training.
There's a tuition fee?
Of course! This is a Grand Master we're talking about here. He doesn't have time to waste. If you want face-to-face training, you've got to show you're sincere about it.
But here we are, having trained under him directly all this time without even a hint of improvement. Master is getting increasingly impatient with us. Recently, though, we heard that a Vision Bearer joined the Guhua clan and made pretty much instant progress in their training.
So, if we can get our hands on a Vision too, maybe we can finally make our master proud.
Well, we have to try something new. Otherwise, we're stuck in the same situation.
Exactly. It can't hurt to try. And if it turns out it does work, the Lingshan clan will go down in history. Folks will come from far and wide. Heck, we could even become the dominant martial arts clan in all of Liyue.
See you in the arena!
Hey, youngster. Are you here for the Crux Clash too? If so, seems I've found myself another new adversary.
So you're also here for the tournament?
You better believe it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could walk away as a champion. For me, obtaining a vision is the final and most important piece in the puzzle that is my life. No. It's not about what I want to do. This is about who I want to be. I am looking to become a perfect person. I know how that sounds, but let me explain. I've lived a successful life so far without any setbacks. I've passed every exam I've ever taken, enjoyed numerous successful business ventures, and seem to get on with just about everyone socially. In most people's eyes, I am already the very embodiment of the perfect person. Though, of course, I'd never let the praise get to my head. I know I haven't reached perfection yet, because there's one thing I'm still missing. A vision.
You have so much self-confidence.
That's not important. I have a contact in the Crux fleet who was happy to vouch for me. So they very kindly made special arrangements on my behalf. I've also brought along a bit of an entourage for moral support. It's such a blessing, really, to have so many good friends in my neighborhood. Of course, I also put in a few good days' practice, concentrating mostly on rare and esoteric styles of Kung Fu. Ha! You don't mince your words, do you? The arena will be the judge. Now then, if you don't mind, I need to finish my pre-competition routine. It's not too long now before you'll get to see me in action.
So, to recap, we're up against an inflated ego, some gullible guys paying way too much for their kung fu classes,
Jinx, a
and
village
another
arm
guy
wrestling
who's
champion, huh?
just really average.
All right, you're signed up. Next, please. What's your name? Wait, aren't you? Oh, did I hear that right?
Is it really them?
Huh? Aren't they a vision bearer, though? Why are they trying to enter the clash?
I have to ask, aren't you the traveler that helped Liyue fight off that ancient god? Oh, it's really him!
The one that spoke with Lady Kuching at the rite of parting.
Oh, I wonder if I can get his autograph later.
I trust you are aware that only those without visions can enter the tournament? Really? But from what I've heard, the things you're capable of in combat are nothing short of extraordinary. You walk into the most dangerous situations imaginable, face off against all sorts of monsters, even the Fatui, and always come out on top.
Yep, he still doesn't have a vision, though. See for yourself.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sure a great hero like yourself would have no reason to lie. Now, could I ask you to provide a few claims to fame? It's just a formality for you, of course, but I have to make a record of competitors' achievements as part of the sign-up process. So far, I've got defeated the ancient god Osile, so that's one. Do you have any others?
Yeah, put that down. And also, defeated the
Whoa!
Might as well declare him the champion already.
I wonder if it's too late to withdraw.
Okay, that's plenty. Actually, right. You're just a great hero such as yourself can surely only be here for one thing. To win the tournament and claim...
Oh, we're not here for that. We're here because Captain Beto promised to take...
There's another prize, too?
Beto must have upped the stakes this time to attract top talent.
But why would anyone want to go somewhere as dangerous?
I see. So, I take it... Well, no, anyway, the qualifying rounds are about to begin.
Hey, so Paimons think even though you don't have a vision, most people in Teyvat think... So Paimon thinks you probably shouldn't use your elemental ability. In any case, looking at the competition, all right, it's...
You seem like you're raring to go. Are you ready to... Good. Then please...
Our next competitor is seen by many as the favorite to win this tournament. His first bout begins now!
You? You're the hero they're talking about? How am I supposed to win now?
strange guy. Why was he so confident?
Impressive. But I also observed our favorite exercise some restraint, as if to protect the opponent from serious harm.
Well, I've fought my fair share of battles, both big and small. And I say, after the show he put on just now, he's more than convinced me of his ability. So come on. We all know you've got a wide vocabulary in there. Can't you spare a word or two to congratulate our up-and-coming champion?
All right. Let me think how to aptly phrase these words of praise. You fought well.
All right then. I was thinking your inner poet might want to join in the fun, but I guess I shouldn't put you on the spot like that. You know, a lot of competitors came to me saying how surprised they were that Liyue's hero was entering the tournament. And since you signed up, we've had many others do the same, with more than a few top-tier fighters among them. I'm sure lots of them are here to fight for one thing, so I'm...
Huh?
This is how Captain Beto works. Besides, at your...
All right, I'm gonna watch some... We're finally here, folks. The real show is...
The captain seems to have high hopes for this tournament. Your opponent has fought many rounds. You may well be stronger than him, but this should not give you... Very well. Show me the...
All right, that's enough chit-chat for now.
Your opponent in the semifinals is new to the Crux Clash, but he has quickly become the dark horse of the tournament. I do not doubt your abilities.
Relax. My guy's at the...
Okay, follow me.
What you got?
At last, the moment we've all been waiting for. The semifinals have begun. Who's it gonna be this time? The hero or the dark horse?
I don't care about the prize. You're a strong opponent. That's what I'm here for. Fury! Pretty good. I'm sweating. Congratulations. I was beaten by the best.
Right. For a moment there, if you had a vision, you'd definitely be one of the strongest around.
I wanted a vision once, when I was a kid. People said that if you're strong enough, you'll have... But mine never came. I lost interest eventually. You can't depend on I've fought and won against...
Huh? You mean you didn't sign up to...
No, I didn't. Only in defeat can you understand your weakness.
Wow.
If you have the chance in the future, please...
By the way, do you know who else made it in...
Whether they'll be as tough as me, I don't know. But what I have... So don't get...
There he goes. Maybe we should ask around, see what we can find out about her.
Ah, it's you! I myself was eliminated in the third round.
Maybe next time, huh?
Why, yes. He's the same one who defeated me. I faltered for but a brief moment. Given my stature, I have no fear of squaring up. Still, I'm sure he'll be no match for you.
He tried to use force disperse. His opponent was pretty... Why don't you dodge, they ask. Because to not... Don't even get me started. I don't dare tell my master. Sorry, I shouldn't be complaining and...
Oh.
Thanks.
We still haven't got any useful information yet.
You gave an outstanding performance. Truly commendable. I could sense that you're not familiar with bouts of this kind. And it could have cost you the match. But you were quick to adapt, and managed to claim victory over your opponent. That is a most... In fact, I discerned this not from what I saw, but what I heard. The ground beneath your feet, and the pattern of your breathing.
He's right. But in my case, I was purely relying on previous experience. I guess not using your elemental powers must be quite new for you, huh?
We wanted to ask about who our opponent will be in the final round. Do you think they'll be stronger than...
Not exactly. Contenders that reach the finals aren't necessarily stronger. They tend to have... As for the guy you'll be facing, his skill lies in his speed, and he is What's the matter? Worried that you've bitten off more than you can chew this time?
If that is the case, then I have a proposal for you. I haven't properly introduced myself yet. In the land of Inazuma, I was a wandering samurai.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup. But at the same time, when you talk, you don't really sound...
It is true that I am versed both in literary and martial traditions. But on the straggling path of a wandering samurai, is there harm in acquiring a surplus skill? I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the lands. I do possess some knowledge regarding your opponent's particular skill set. Given your talents, a few hints from me will be all that's necessary to bring your opponent down.
Hang on. Don't you think you're bending the rules a bit there?
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. You must know your enemy. Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt. Such impressive feats require more than just bravery alone.
You betcha! Wait a second. We never told you that we've been to Mondstadt.
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through the wild? In return, nature also leaves its traces upon you. However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. I sense that many things about you elude... Come with me. Now that we're alone, let me cut to the... You are skilled in manipulating the elements, and not just a single element.
Paimon knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met. You've known all along.
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, let's just say, it would cause some unwanted misunderstandings. If I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use elemental skills even in the heat of a match. When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, this is not poetic symbolism at play. I mean these things in the truest sense possible. Since a young age, I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind and the whispers of the leaves. It is things of this nature that I also hear from within you. Nothing more.
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow Paimon still believes you.
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your incredible feats. To think a human could wield the elements without a vision. And not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious being.
Hey, stop evaluating us based on our smell! It's weird!
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental abilities? Extraordinary. So then, might I be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learned to channel elemental energy?
Aw, it's nothing really. Paimon just told him whatever came to mind. It's been a long journey, and many things have happened along the way. Somehow, he just naturally learned to use the elements through it all. Honestly, even Paimon doesn't understand how it all works.
Perhaps such unfathomable things are the essence of the gods and the visions they grant. However, I still wish to have the honor of seeing how you wield the elements. Perhaps it may yet reveal something to me. Of course, I too shall share with you all that I've learned. That will make it a fair exchange. Now then, let's test your skills, shall we? Freeze! Oh, so sorry.
Go and splash!
I swear by my sword!
Freeze!
Feel the beat!
Your skills in battle are truly beyond reproach. Even with your opponent's speed, he shouldn't be able to overwhelm you. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat his opponents. In other words, as long as you remain mindful of his ability to detect weak points, then his attacks should pose no threat to you. Please, save your thanks. If anything, I should be thanking you for the opportunity to witness your command of the elements that defies all known principles. The world is a truly mysterious place, it seems, and one will always encounter that which is still unknown.
You seem kind of obsessed with visions, but don't you already have your own? Why are you so intent on exploring the connection between visions and the elements?
I desire to know what meaning visions have to the gods, and what influences the gods' decision to grant humans these visions. My apologies. You must be completely in the dark regarding such matters. For allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways, I am willing to answer any questions you may have regarding Inazuma. So that's what you're curious about? Then allow me to tell you more. As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in Inazuma. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably, sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients dead. In the outset, supposing each of the 7 archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro-Archon now doubt these criteria, or even the act in and of itself? Not to mention, with no new Electro-Visions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on the matter.
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a tyrant.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will with no regard to what others may think or feel. Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro-Archon before? With time, we will change, but the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity from her. Ah, the time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about Inazuma that Paimon forgot all about the tournament!
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together. Very well, let's go. I wish to see who will obtain the vision.
Why isn't he here yet?
Never mind. We can start by making your entrance first. Everyone, listen up! Your attention, please! We've reached the climax of the Crux Clash! This is the final match! We've seen many exciting battles today, and now, at long last, the 2 finalists have emerged. Now, I'd like to introduce our first combatant. Though few have seen him, his reputation knows no bounds. He strikes fear into the heart of Osile, and the mere mention of his name causes even the Fatui Harbingers to turn pale in the face. Introducing Liyue's traveling hero!
Wow!
I've been waiting for this moment.
I'm sure everyone witnessed his thrilling match in the semifinals. But today's final round will surely take things up a notch. As for our other combatant, he still hasn't arrived. Oh, come on, what could be taking him so long? You can't just forfeit for not showing up like in previous rounds. This is the finals. Apologies, everyone just sit tight. We've got no other choice. If he doesn't show up, we'll just have to postpone the match.
Wait a moment. Something doesn't seem right about this. Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the prize. Traveler, come with us.
Let me see. It's gone all right. The vision is missing. We don't know when it was taken exactly. I never thought that someone here would have the guts to cross Captain Beto.
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand does not escape nature's watchful gaze. The culprit has only acted recently. They will not have gotten far. The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it. I will be certain to get it back.
Well, if you insist. I'll leave the matter to you then. I'll stay here and try to offer some explanation to all the spectators that came to see the match.
If you would, please come with me. Come with me. I can sense the winds are coming.
A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there, we can continue our search for clues.
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the prize in the first place?
I heard the moment it was stolen.
Well, then why didn't you stop him?
You'll see shortly.
You can't run from death.
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Hubris. This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Hoarders, they're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just as I expected. In which case, please stand back.
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway, and still you caught up to me.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking about? Oh, I get it. Your vision. Drat! If I only had a vision. Or, if I could activate this one, then you'd never be able to catch me.
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know precious little about how to conceal yourself from nature's gaze. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too numerous to go into, and on top of that, I could hear your boasting and proud laughter in the wind as I was pursuing you. In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic criteria for a grand heist. Namely, speed, stealth... But most disappointing of all is the state of... It appears that the vision doesn't respond to human desire indiscriminately.
Fine! Fine! I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now.
Aha! So you were supposed to be our opponent.
I'd intended to win the contest through skill after watching the semi-final. Since there was no use in trying to face you in the match, I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape, but somehow after all I went through to get... Really? Fine. But you'd better mean it. It didn't act...
You know, according to the laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing...
Huh? You're not serious, are you?
Not to mention that the item you stole, it seems that it would be only...
Whoa, whoa! We don't need to go that far.
I never would have guessed. If this is where talking gets me, then forget it. I'll...
What are you trying to do? Cool it.
Feel the beat! Amp it up!
I'll have my revenge, eventually.
No, no. Do what you want, but please, don't brand my forehead, please!
He has persevered to the bitter end. Put down the vision and leave.
Huh?
What's wrong? It's up to you.
No.
Huh? Paimon doesn't get it.
I take no pleasure in when people are forced into a corner. That is when their greatest strength... But unfortunately, nothing... Yes. From the moment I've tried many of... Though few tales tell of him. After seeing you... Come, why don't... I see. So you are also... No matter. This was expected.
Yeah, what?
The story begins with an old friend. He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshikaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I'd stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god. Perhaps one day I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless. But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way, while still retaining the warrior way in my heart.
Kazuha!
It's just another way of saying I do as I please. All right then, it's time we returned. Allow me to gather the wind for us once more.
Leave already? Maybe she went back.
If you're looking for the it seems that the crux Captain Beto was... But still...
The one who stole he knew he stood no chance of, in which case the
Huh? So, if that's...
Paimon thought...
It doesn't matter, as the saying goes.
Yes, I believe, but the voyage to... In fact, the...
Hold on a second.
Let us not forget, suffice it to say, in the meantime...
Paimon believes...
Thank you. One final word.
Astra Abyssosk. What can I do for you? Ah, yes. I've heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage. Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited those lands. Unfortunately, I don't have any current intel that would be worth sharing with you.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beidou will be taking to Inazuma, right? Oh, is that right? Well, it's an honor to meet you. The fleet is nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beidou sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beidou is the captain of her word.
Of course! There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
So you'll be heading off then? I suppose congratulations are in order. Whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the depths of the abyss, each step you take is another achievement. Until we meet again, Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Oh, it's kind of hard to say goodbye now. We practically see each other every day.
Well, if that's how you feel, why not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you on Narukami Island.
So there's another Catherine in Inazuma? See? There's no need to get all sappy now.
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to Liyue Harbor. Now that I've delivered my...
Okay, thanks for coming all this way to...
Just following orders. I'll see you two aboard the Alco.
Oh, it's really coming down. It'd be all sorts of bad if my guitar got wet. Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already. Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away!
Ahoy there. So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty Shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive on board after all.
Oh, right. Kazuha.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Fair seas, Captain Beto. Bye-bye!
Now then, first things first. We need to go get you registered at the border checkpoint.
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we just gonna walk into the government's hands?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku Decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if you tried. So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Toma. You must be new here.
Excuse me?
Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you. Currently, only members of the International Trade Association are authorized to engage in the import and export of goods. Do you have your trader's permits? My apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are their entry papers, for your kind perusal.
What? Take your time. No rush or anything.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. Sorry about that.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Sheesh. So it is super strict, just like everyone says.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency? Both of you?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you serious?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400...
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price down, but...
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will make a record.
Much obliged.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around...
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. Processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth.
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outlanders trying to survive on Rito. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like achievement when you're an Outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
Really? Wow! The Rito Fixer is better connected than we thought.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it could be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price, you understand?
Not you too!
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind. Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Carisio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose. Good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku Decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from overseas.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku Decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions, that's the one that oversees everything on retail, isn't it?
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and that's not the worst of it. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Crystal Marrow? What's that?
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new decree came along. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this Crystal Marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for Crystal Marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it anywhere else.
Isn't that what they call a monopoly?
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle, the consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. And once that happens... We've tried communicating with the Commission directly, But this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. They're really bleeding them dry. What do you think we should do? But Carice was the head of the association, and even he hasn't had any luck. Not to mention, we're Outlanders too.
Right. And besides, I think this may well be the fate they've ordained for us.
Okay. Well, we could try tackling the problem by going to the other party involved.
That vendor... I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no idea where he sources the stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association and you're new to Rito, he may just let his guard down. If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
Got it! We're on the case!
Huh? I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Karisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they? They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's check back in with him.
That was quick. You resolved it already?
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
No? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get by, but he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
What a bummer!
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.